Pregame.com.
We wrap up this week's videos at pregame.com. The Monday night contest between the Niners and the Cardinals from Arizona. This is Marco's free pick, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. Not a whole lot of movement on this one. We still see a lot of 6.5s out there from where it opened as we talk about this game. A couple of 7s and some joints. Total's gone from 37 up to 38. But I wanted to talk to you about San Francisco getting this early action, according to sportsbookspy.com, but not a whole lot of movement in the line. But as far as Arizona's concerned, I'm watching last week's game. They finally jump over the 300-yard plateau, which they hadn't reached all season long. And then we see a pick six basically decide that game. Arizona loses 21-14 to Minnesota, who I think had 58. They had 58 more yards passing than we did last week, and that's how bad it was for Minnesota. But the bottom line is Skelton's now the quarterback. He is 5-3 as a starter.
Well, yeah, I mean, you hit on it with Arizona. The offense has been anemic all season, but the last 2 weeks, they finally got some life out of the ground game. 2 weeks ago, 182 yards against Buffalo on the ground. Last week, 126 yards on the ground against Minnesota, but yet they still can't break 17 points. In Buffalo and Minnesota, not two of your more dominating defenses in the NFL. So you got to have some concerns if you want to back Arizona. But from a handicapping standpoint, you're going to have a lot of people. It's Monday Night Football. You got a home underdog, Scott. People blindly love to just take home underdogs on Monday Night Football, and then you make it a subset and make it a division game. They're going to blindly find their way there. But if you're a situational handicapper, you're going to look at San Francisco and say, this is a great spot for the 49ers. They played on Thursday night last week and didn't have to come back and play until Monday. So you've got the best, of both worlds for them. Something's got to give here.
Tony, I think this is probably the first time that you've worked with Marco. You notice how what he likes to do is find these jabs, and he keeps reliving them. I had San Francisco that night, by the way, when Jim Harbaugh decided to decline the penalty in the end zone, so he ended up getting a push. A lot of people got a loss.
It's the right coaching move.
Yeah, I got you. He's going to pay later for dinner. But I'll tell you what, Tony, you're the line guy, and we talk about placing maybe value if there is any uncertain players in the NFL. You've got Skelton now taking over this team for the injured Kevin Cobb. And, from my standpoint, I don't see any difference according to the line is concerned. But I wanted to ask you as a lines maker, because of the situation, because of the fact that Arizona doesn't protect the quarterback well, 33 sacks allowed already, Skelton's the stand-up guy, drop-back passer, where Cobb could create and break out of pressure. Does that add any significance to any kind of line when you were making lines for Las Vegas?
Yeah, I don't think it would make a difference in the line. Where it is there's an intangible here. And I actually think Arizona was a better team with Kevin Cobb in there, and they gave Skelton the job coming out of training camp, and that first game against Seattle, he was really, really struggling. He got hurt. Cobb comes in, and he became a hero, and they actually played fairly well with Kevin Cobb at quarterback. This is a big number in relation to the total, the 6.5 and 38. Back from my line-making days, I know this is favorite and over a dog and under, and that's going to be the combination. And if you can break that combination, it's going to be a good night for the books. But 7 sacks last week, and this is not a good club to have problems with the offensive line. This defensive line for San Francisco, they're going to cause some trouble.
I think it's going to be a situation where whatever offensive line can protect the passer the best is going to win this game. Now, I know that sounds like you could say in just about every football game, but because both quarterbacks can't afford to be under pressure. Alex Smith, we've seen him a couple of times this year fold under pressure. And Marco, as we throw this over to you for your free pick, we've got Arizona on this 8-1 run at home straight up. They're 8-2-1 in their last 11 as an underdog. And that Ray Horton defensive attack can make up for so many miscues for that Arizona offense. If they get after Smith, then San Francisco is in some trouble. This is your free pick.
All right, guys, we're going to look Monday Night Football. I'm going to actually buck a couple trends here. Yeah, it's a home dog on Monday night. But the San Francisco 49er defense, they've held 3 of their last 4 opponents to 6 points or less. Arizona's been struggling all year to score points, and now they're going against a very tough 49er defense. Alex Smith, you did point out, that's my only concern. The last 2 weeks, Alex Smith has shown Alex Smith of old. We got to snap him out of that. But I think the 49er defense is going to create some turnovers that are going to set them up. The other trend that we're bucking in here, and everybody's been talking about it, is the bye week. Teams that have been going into the bye week the following week have not been doing good. And I realize the San Francisco 49ers are one of those teams. They have a bye next week. But the thing that's different about this game to me, one, you've got Jim Harbaugh as the coach. This is a fiery guy that is not going to let his team lose focus and take the week off a little bit early. And that's the problem that we've been seeing with some of these teams. I look for the 49ers to come in here. This is a division game. It means a lot. They're going to make a statement. I like the defense. Probably a low-scoring game, but we're going to call it 49ers 20, Arizona 10. Lay the points with the 49ers on Monday Night Football.
It's Marco's best bet. Now, I'm going to tell you what.
Just a regular bet.
I mean, not best bet, but a free pick, a regular bet. I like Harbaugh a lot. You mentioned how he's a stickler for details and all that, so it kind of makes a little bit of a difference when you're talking about these situations or trends, the bye week trends and all that we've seen this year. But if he tries to go after Ken Whisenhunt like he did Jim Schwartz, my money's on Whisenhunt. And I like Harbaugh, but I think Whisenhunt's a little bit tougher. Anyway, it's been great working with Tony Sinise all weekend long with the games. He's with us on Monday nights on First Preview Radio. You can listen to those shows right here at pregame.com. It's been okay working with Marco. We'll see you again next week, everybody. Thanks for watching.